considering where we came from. But I've never seen any market jump like this at all. Like I've never seen a market jump quite like this. Silver and gold has done something is that's never been seen before. The only other market I seen move like this was the Bitcoin, and I wasn't really too big into that, but I did have a few friends who were able to capitalize off of that. But with this crazy jump like this, man, it leads me to ask the question that I see a lot of people have been asking, and it is: are the silver and gold prices being manipulated? um, you would see them jump from 120 and come back down, then go back up, come back down. And as far as I know right now, I'm not an expert, but silver is like one of the highest seeked metals right now. Like it don't get no more important than that industrially. It's a fashion, just about if all the electronics. We need silver for everything. So how is the price being? How is the price so low? I'm not too big on these YouTube guys because I don't really like the antics, but Silver Seeker is a pretty good resource. Let's see what he got to say.
I'm going to ask you two very important questions about silver today, and I want you to answer them in the comments below. So go do that now and answer them in this order. Question one, are you still stacking silver? And I don't mean do you already have a stack? I mean, are you actively stacking and adding silver to your stack? And then the second question is, do you believe silver price is manipulated? Now, the reason I'm asking you that second question is because many people comment on my channel and they believe that, in fact, silver price is. And take a look at what silver has done this year. And keep in mind, this year, 2023, where we've had crazy new war start, we have had massive inflation, we've had bank failures, we have people.
That's the main thing right there. It literally takes money to go to war, man. So, I imagine that any major war pop off, silver price is gonna that quick.
Struggling to pay their bills and to put gas in their cars, and yet a safe haven asset like silver and gold as well, by the way, is not performing like you would expect it to.
Remember, we had there was a particular war I can't think of right now, but it made the prices of oil shoot up so crazy, and there was a few people who got super wealthy, and you see it's a trend of certain people who actually capitalize off of these wars. And every time a war or a major crisis happens, these people capitalize and make out very well.
In times of turmoil and in times of uncertainty like what we're seeing today. Let's take a look at the silver price right here. We have silver trading on January 2nd, the beginning of this year, for $24.10. Now, of course, as with any asset, we do have its peaks and valleys.
Wait a minute. Is this video? All right, this video is 2 years old, but he's still on topic though, so I want to hear him out. Even though these prices are not, this is a clear indicator of like where we at right now, literally, with silver prices being at 87, and this was just 2 years ago. And you're looking at $22 an ounce. It's crazy.
He's dropping all the way down to $20.10 right before we saw bank failures skyrocket the price. It went from like $20 all the way up to $26. And then it quickly came back down. You know what didn't come back down during those times, though, is premiums. But taking a look at what's happened with silver, the people that argue that silver is manipulated, whether or not you believe that it is, they have a valid point. Again, 24.10. And then right now, you can see this number right here, 22.37. You can see silver is actually down
22. Man, I wish I would have caught that wave. I wish I would have caught that.
Almost $2 an ounce since the beginning of this year. In times of uncertainty, in times of war, in times of inflation, silver and gold are expected to perform. Now, gold at least has performed a little bit this year, starting at 1829 and winding up at 1937. But silver has certainly not. The only thing we have seen go up on silver that is maintained and is finally.
So this was in 2023. He's saying you can see right here in November 2023, gold was only at 1,968. So essentially $2,000 an ounce. Fast forward to today. Let me get an exact price per ounce. I don't want to say anything. 49.51. 4,951, which is essentially $5,000. So if you grab 1 ounce of gold in 2023 for $2,000, you already made $3,000 on your investment.
Starting to come back down is premiums. And those premiums absolutely skyrocketed when people got really interested in silver during the banking failures. But again, look at how the silver price reacted then. It jumped, but it wasn't a massive amount, especially.
And no banks are going to give you the opportunity to capitalize on your own money like this. No banks are going to give you the opportunity to really gain interest on your cash like silver and gold would.
Actually, if you consider what it started out at the beginning of the year, sure, it looks really strong from here and then jumping to here. And, you know, you can really look at in this area right here because these are little spikes right at the top. You're never going to catch, well, I won't say never, but the chance of you catching that's pretty slim. But if you look, if you compare it to here, if you ignore this little section and you compare it to the beginning of the year, even during the banking crisis, silver didn't perform very well. It didn't perform like it should have. Meanwhile, there are other assets that are performing incredibly well this year. And keep in mind, before I talk to you about this asset, I'm not a crypto guy at all. But since it's an asset, we should absolutely take a look at what it's done. And we see crypto, we see Bitcoin, I should say, not all crypto. We see Bitcoin starting off this year at $16,000. And right now it's trading for $36,936, a gain of 122% or $20,000 per coin. So if you would have been able to put 16 grand into crypto, into Bitcoin, I should say, it's not all crypto, although I think some other ones like Ethereum are doing it well as well. But my point is, if you would have been able to put 16 grand into Bitcoin this year, you would have made a profit of 20,000.
And nobody be knowing about this stuff. Well, I know a lot of people knew about crypto, but for the mass majority, nobody really took it serious. And it's right in our face. It's right in our face like everything else, man. We fail to take advantage every time.
$1,000, man, wouldn't that be awesome? But if you would have taken that same $16,000 and put it into silver, and keep in mind, we're not even talking about premiums. Let's just say you put it into paper silver, so you bought it on this market, and you didn't have to pay the premiums. Let's just talk about the spot price. We're not talking about physical. $16,000 divided by 2410 means you would have had 663. Let's just round it up. The 664 ounces of silver. If we multiply that by 2237, which was what it's trading for right now, you would have actually lost money to the tune of $1,146. So when you,
me personally, I would never sell on a dip. I'm not panic selling because it's a market. It's just that's how the market goes. It's either gonna go up or down, up and down, I should say. What goes up must come down, and what goes down must come back up. So it's you got to be patient.
you look at the numbers in that perspective, it really isn't a good outlook, is it? And it totally makes me understand the people that aren't interested in gold and silver. I get it. I totally do. I believe in stacking gold and silver 100%. And I do believe that better times are ahead for gold and silver. But those that aren't stacking, those that look at those numbers and be like, why would I buy gold and silver? I get it. I have no problem with your stance, which is why I asked at the beginning of the.
Let me show you exactly why you should buy gold or silver. And I know it does go up and down. Everybody will say, I'm going to show you exactly why you should, though. Let me show you a realistic reason why you should. Right here is a good reason you should. You see from 2001 where it came from. It's only going to get more and more valuable. So while you see a trend of it going up and down, you see the trend is more so up. So we go up a lot, go down a little bit, to go up a lot more, to go down a little bit, and to go up a lot more. And especially with gold, look at the trend. I mean, it ain't too much more you can say. There's nothing to be said, actually, when you look at that.
The video if you are still currently stacking gold and silver. But personally, I do believe that there are better times ahead for gold and silver. I really do. But more so than that,
And he was right. Speaking 3 years ago up until now, he ain't telling no lies.
I still believe in physical assets, gold and silver being my primary targets of having real physical assets in your hand. The US dollar, regardless of how strong it looks on the DXY, doesn't look very strong in person, doesn't it? Gas prices are higher, food prices are higher, energy prices are higher. In fact, just this morning, Moody's lowered the US's credit rating from stable to negative. The US,
What is Moody's? What is Moody's? Moody's U.S. credit. Moody's rating downgraded the United States long-term rating for them. What is credit view? Okay, so Moody's is a credit view. Okay.
regardless of how strong things look compared to other global currencies, which is what the DXY measures, does not look very good in person. And so I don't like having all of my money in $2, and I don't like having all of my money in the cryptos. That being said, I think it's very important, and keep in mind, none of this video is financial advice at all, but I still think it's incredibly important that you diversify. In other words, you shouldn't go all in on gold or silver. You shouldn't go all in on crypto if that's what you believe in. You shouldn't go all in on Beanie Babies or tulip bulbs or Pokemon cards or Magic the Gathering or old rare video games that have been graded, you know, from so-and-so company or whatever it may be. You shouldn't go all in on any asset. You should be financially responsible, making sure that you have money set aside, but also making sure that you have money out of the US fiat system in case we ever do get to a point that all of the people say that we are headed to, in case we actually do get.
That's a fact, though, man. That's a fact. Myself personally, I'm guilty for sure, man. I threw all my money at gold last year, and I think ultimately I exhausted myself. I literally couldn't help but just throw every penny I had at gold, almost every day. And it came times where I actually needed cash to do day-to-day things, and I didn't have it, so I ended up having to sell. And I still made a couple bucks on it. I didn't really take any losses, but just thinking back on it now, I definitely wish I could have held on to a couple of those pieces.
There. So at this point in the video, you're probably wondering about one of those first questions where I said, do you believe silver is manipulated? And I hope that you answered below. If you haven't done so yet, do so now. And also make sure you're subscribed, guys. Help me continue to grow the channel. A lot of people watch my channel. I haven't even subscribed yet, and I really appreciate it. I absolutely do believe that it should be higher. Going on in the world and the price of basically just everything. And then silver's industrial applications and increasing industrial demand. I absolutely do believe silver is underpriced. And I absolutely do believe that it should be higher. I also see, and keep in mind, this is not me saying that this is okay. This is not me supporting the practice at all. I assure you that I believe that all silver manipulation, price manipulation should stop. But I do see the incentive for companies, big banks, and governments to keep that price suppressed because it is used so heavily. I mean,
look at all these different things silver is used for. And yet we have the lowest value per they say. The price is gonna shoot up, man. If you're stacking your silver, just hold on to your silver, man. We gonna get paid.
It's used in EVs, it's used in modern electronics, your cell phones, the screens that you're watching this on right now, all use silver. Solar uses silver, a lot of green energy uses silver. And, you know, so yeah, there's absolutely a reason to keep the silver price.
I've seen enough, man.